Yo guys, today's video is a showdown between the Jasminer X4-1U and the iPollo V1 Mini ETH miner. I know these are the two, for me anyways, from what I've gathered, are the two contenders for which will be the ultimate ETC mining machine going into the future. So let's take a look at both of them and analyze which one is actually better if you bought today. So I will say that a lot of people are drawn to buying this particular miner here because of the larger memory size. It's able to mine Ethereum for a little bit longer, but considering Ethereum plans to go away anyways in September, if that happens, you won't be able to take full advantage of that 6 gigabytes. I think it's 5.8 gigabytes. Let's check it out here. 6 gigabytes, but I think 5.8 is usable of that. So you can only really use this particular miner for up until the merge, and the merge will probably happen before that 6 gigabyte is even reached. If you take a look over here at the Jasminer, we're limited by 5 gigabytes of memory, which means by the end of, essentially within maybe 3 weeks or so, this one won't be able to mine Ethereum anymore. So this needs to switch back over to ETC as well. So for all intents and purposes, I'm going to assume and say that pretty much these are both Ethereum Classic miners because they're not Ethereum is going away, guys. Everyone knows that. So there's no point in thinking, okay, well, this one can mine Ethereum longer because, well, if it does mine it longer, it won't be very long, in my opinion. So I'm just going to compare based off of Ethereum Classic, and you'll quickly see which one comes out on top. This one has a lower price tag, and that's attractive to a lot of people. It's $25.99, so people might be able to afford that and buy that much more easier. But that being said, the Jasminer is dropping hard and coming down hard as well. I have my 4th Jasminer on the way, and if I had more money, I'd get a 5th one, to be quite frank. I'm looking at getting a server rack for it, basically. Maybe like a 10U server rack or something, just to fit all these Jasminers in there. And if it drops even more, I might buy another one if I get one even cheaper. But I bought 3 of them used off of btminers.com, and I also got one brand new one from Jingle Mining. Now, if you take a look here at the hash rate, this one is cheaper, yes, but you're getting 300 mega hash on the hash rate, versus over here you're getting a 520 mega hash on the hash rate. Okay, power consumption is roughly the same, 240 watts, and power consumption is roughly the same there as well. They're both going to mine ETC hash. They both support 120 volt or to 240 volt outlets as well. I'll tell you right now, I'm running the Jasminers. I'm running 3 of them off of 120 volt, a 20 amp circuit right now. No problem. I'm going to add a 4th one. No problem. Still under 100 watts. You could probably add 5 in there. You could probably add 5 or 6 of these bad boys on one 20 amp 120 volt circuit, which is incredible. Literally, that's like over 2,500 mega hash of Ethereum Classic or 2.5 giga hash on one circuit. Guys, think about the power to weight ratio. Okay, so like I come from the car world and all that, so a lot of times like we talk about when it comes to engine power, right? If your car weighs too much and you have not enough power, obviously you're not going to go as fast as a car that has the same amount of power that has actually weighs less, right? So it's power to weight ratio in terms of like cars, but this time it's power to hash ratio. Call it power to hash ratio. So the power to hash ratio is much better on the Jasminer X4-1U. Like we're literally getting, if we just take out the calculator again here, and we're gonna do some basic simple math here, we're gonna go essentially 520 divided by 240. You're looking at 2.16 mega hash per watt. 2.16. Now if I open up another calculator and I take a look at the other one here, and we take a look at the power to weight ratio, or power to watt ratio, power to hash ratio. We're going to look at that. So we're going to be 300 divided by 240. So this one, 300 divided by 240. This is a 1.25. We're talking like almost, not quite double, but almost double, I would say. 75 to 80% more hash for your electricity. Okay. Now the two things that are going to come to mind here are the DAG file size. Okay. The Jasminer with the 5 gigabytes will be able to mine Ethereum Classic until around, I think, September. I think it's November of 2028. This iPollo here will be able to mine it for till 2031. So we're talking 3 years difference. But let's take a look and see if those are just surface level details. once again, I've compiled a spreadsheet here to kind of go over what the analysis is between these two miners here. So the iPollo V1 and the X4-1U. So the iPollo V1 is the gold one, so don't get confused with the minis. Those minis aren't, I don't think, as good because the DAG file sizes are so small. You won't be able to mine anything after 2024. So these are just the two we're going to look at. This is the gold V1 iPollo and the Jasminer X4-1U. Which one should you get, right? Okay, so right now, I can get one of these Jasminer X4-1Us for about $5,800, probably less. I actually got one for less than that. From btminers.com, and I got them used. Okay, the iPollo V1 we're looking at $3,350. These are in Canadian dollars. Okay, so it is cheaper here. You're paying about what is that, $2,500, $2,400 more for the Jasminer X4-1U. But I'll quickly show that it doesn't matter. If you look down here in this section down here, we're going to take a look here with the 12 cents Canadian per kilowatt hour, and I don't think we're using this here, but this is the current Ethereum Classic value, which actually went up in the last couple of days. I'm just going to go over that real quick here. The current Ethereum Classic value is $25.43. Like, guys, it was 15 before. Like, it's gone up even just $10 in a small little pump that we had. So $25. I mean, it's small, but that's a big pump. I'm not gonna lie here. $25 ETC. Okay, so I entered both these numbers into what to mine, basically. So I put in 240 watts for each, and I put in the hash rate of 300 and 520 respectively for both of these units. The iPollo V1 comes out at a profit of $643 per day. Okay, and you'll be able to mine for 3,388 days. Okay, the cost is $33.50. You'll make a revenue of $21,784 in that time. A profit of $18,400, which is roughly 550.29% profit, looks like here. But if we take a look over here at the Jasminer is 5 gigabytes, 240. This more hash rate, almost double the hash rate, almost double the profits, 1185. It costs more, but it's not costing double. The egg file will be only until 2028, so we only have 2,263 days left. Cost is $5,800 Canadian. The revenue on that is $26,816. Okay, so and if you subtract away the differences from the cost of the unit itself and the unit itself, you're actually making more money with the Jasminer X4-1U than you are with the iPollo V1. So don't be fooled by the fact that you can mine for longer, because what matters is getting as much bang for your buck between now and 2028 versus getting a smaller bang for buck, paying more electricity, and also take much longer to ROI. If you look at the ROI date here, we're looking at ROI date of if you were to buy this and it continues at this amount of profitability, you're looking at ROI of 2023 1120, which isn't bad at all of the current Ethereum Classic. Now this is going to change obviously as everyone floods the hash rate over to Ethereum Classic, blah blah blah. We've heard the same old fairy tale over and over again, but the difference is the Jasminer will be one, if not the most efficient unit on Ethereum Classic. So everything else will have to compare up to that. So if you have a Jasminer, you're going to get basically you'll be making more money than anyone else, or at least at the top. So everyone who is in the Jasminer club will make the most money on Ethereum Classic. The more Jasminers you have, obviously you make more, but unit per unit you'll make more than anyone else. I don't care what GPU they have. I don't care what other ASIC miners they have. You're going to make more money. So if you take a look here, the profit is $21,000 roughly on that. So you're actually making more money. This profit is 550%. That is correct. This is 360%. So off the hand, that looks a lot more. But I don't care about that really. What I care about is how much money at the end of the day you made. In this case, you made more money, $21,000 by 2023. That's if nothing changes, right? So that being said, I think the Jasminer is also slated to come down in price. And based off the current price of the iPollo V1, it's not the better choice. And I'll continue to reassess this comparison between these two top-level Ethereum Classic miners. But I really think that the Jasminer X4-1U is the king. It will continue to be the king. And if you wait till after the merge to buy one, the merge might take a couple of months or even until next year to happen. But they're saying it's going to happen in September. But if it doesn't, then you have a little longer to mine Ethereum on that one, so you make more money in that way. But I don't think it'll be long enough to outweigh the difference with what the Jasminer is. If you wait maybe 3 more months or something for the Ethereum merge to happen, or for the DAG file size to drop to the Jasminer's ETC only, I don't think you're going to see a huge price drop. Like we're looking at $44.99 right now on the Jingle Mining website. I don't think that's going to drop much more than like $3,500, maybe $3,000. And if you look at the overall profits that you're making, this not even including increased potential future increases in the Ethereum Classic price itself. Like I said, we're way down here. We were up there. And you're not even taking that into account, you're still making a lot of money. So I don't think sitting around waiting to save a few pennies now is going to make a big difference in the long run if you think long term. So I'd say if you're going to buy one, you can buy one now. Originally these were about $12,000. That's what held me back. I mean, only got one unit. Now I got literally, like, guys, I literally got, like, for half the price, I got like twice as many Jasminers. It's just like, this is kind of what I'm thinking long term. And if you wait, you can wait. Go ahead. You might save a grand or two or $1,500 or something. But in the long term, that's going to be peanuts, boys. Peanuts compared to the increase in Ethereum Classic. So if you want to buy it now, I don't think you're going to be hurt if you bought it now, or if you bought it within a month or month and a half. It's going to be the potato. It's not going to make much difference when you look at what this thing's going to get you in Ethereum Classic and how much I think Ethereum Classic is going to go up. It's going to be such a small little difference. You wouldn't even have cared that you wouldn't have waited a month and a half. In fact, you might be upset that you didn't get in a month and a half earlier to get that extra Ethereum Classic, or Ethereum in the case right now. And you just waited for the price to drop just to save a small amount, which in the long run turns out to be nothing, because as everything goes up in price, it's going to far outstrip any benefit from waiting a month or two for these prices to drop even lower. That's my opinion, guys. I mean, unless you expect it to drop to like $500, $1,000, which I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to hit rock bottom around maybe $3,000, $2,500 at the very most. Long run, it doesn't matter, because you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars with this thing if this thing increases in value. Like, what do I mean by that? Ethereum Classic has got $25 right now. Let's say it goes to $100. This $21,000 becomes $80,000. If this goes even close to where it was before, like $150, multiply this by 5, 6, 7, or 8. Like, say you multiply it by 7, like 21,000 profit, and that's only once it's paid off. It's all profit times 7. 104. You're gonna save 2-3 grand, but you're making $147,000. Dudes, I maybe call me delusional, call me like I'm not trying to be like an internet prophet or anything. No one knows the damn future. Ethereum Classic could die and blow up, But honestly, if this goes up anywhere near where it was, then you're not going to give a rat's ass about a couple $1,000, because you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, like, you got to think positively. And I could be wrong. Of course, everyone could be wrong. But I'm saying the best predictor of the future is always the past, right? In most cases, just look. That's all we really have to go by. Is to look back at the past and then judge the future based off what happened in the past. And based off what happened in the past, Ethereum Classic, guys, is just gonna skyrocket, I think, at some point. And then waiting an extra month or two is not gonna make a damn difference. It's gonna be like a drop in the bucket for you, because you'll have like 150 grand, and you saved like $1,000, $2,000, or you might even have that time which you have waited to mine 2 months worth of Ethereum Classic. That could be worth more than the savings that you waited for if you look at long term. Anyways, guys, I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna leave the video there. I will talk to you in the next one. Make sure you bash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next Crypto Minute video. Bye for now.